General Ved Prakash Malik, former Chief of the Army Staff, one of our most respected veterans, is with me live, and I invited him because I know he has thoughts about national issues that go beyond the military. General Malik, you know, this year, Operation Sindoor, when two countries came so close to war, we know what our external threats are. And here is our political landscape busy with our interstate divisions, language battles, community issues, and our fault lines on the inside, sir. What is your perspective on this?
Good evening, Shiv, and thank you for asking me to be on your panel. I think you have raised a very, very important and a very timely subject. And it does disappoint people like me, you know, when we see the kind of politics which is going on and which were just now described so well. You know, I'm reminded of a French scholar, Ernest Renan, and he had said, what constitutes a nation is not speaking the same language or belonging to the same religion or ethnic group, but having accomplished great things in common in the past and the wish to accomplish them in the future again. Now that is what he had said. So what you just now said is totally opposite of what is happening. We talk of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and yet we cannot live like a family. And I'm also reminded of Kautilya, who said that the worst enemy is the enemy within. Now, when these things are happening, it does affect the morale of the soldiers. I must mention that. Yeah. Because I've seen it, you know, these days our soldiers are a lot more aware than in my time also. And they watch whatever is happening, and they get disappointed when they see the kind of visual that you have just now shown also. So I'm very disappointed, and so much of political infighting. There is less political consensus on foreign relations or on the security issues, where I did not see any in my time. I would say till 71 war, I would say that. And people were having a consensus. But today, we remain so internalized, and we remain, trying to fix each other rather than the outsiders that we are talking of. Incidentally, I must also tell you that today, the outside threat and the inside threat have a commonology. They are linked with each other. You know, there are no fixed borders as such, because the enemy can target anything inside. And the worst is those people who are working against the country, within the country, are inside. So I think you have raised a very important question, and I'm glad that you have raised it. It's a disappointing thing that we are watching, and I hope we can stop it. Elections or no elections, you know, it doesn't affect it affects the morale of the people on the border, and they expect that at least on foreign policy and on defense policies, there is a consensus working there, so that we can develop ourselves and we can face the kind of threats that we are facing today, whether it is from China, Pakistan, Bangladesh, or even Turkey getting involved with Bangladesh these days. Very true. So we require a consensus on these issues, and we require less fighting amongst the political parties.
General Malik, you know, there is a very popular saying, and I actually love this saying, that, you know, soldiers and military personnel don't ask for much because they don't have a choice in who they protect and who they defend. They've signed up for national service to protect us all. So whether it is a brutish MLA somewhere, or someone indulging in communal politics, or whether someone is fighting a language war, they are all Indian citizens, and soldiers have no option but to protect them as well. But there is a beautiful saying, which you are very well aware of, which is, you know, just be a citizen worth dying for. And I don't know why I thought of that phrase today. When I watched the political landscape today, I thought of that phrase, a soldier's request. Just be a citizen worth dying for.
Shiv, I have always remained away from politics, as
Yeah,
you know.
I know.
Okay. But, so I do not like to address any particular political parties ever. But as I said earlier, today, whatever is happening, let's say in Maharashtra or in Bengal or anywhere else, we have boys from or girls from all these states, and they are quite media savvy these days, even whether they're deployed on the front line. It does affect them. I can't question the citizen because
Yeah.
our citizens, by and large, are patriotic. It is a certain class which is creating so much of problem, and the kind of politics in which we are indulging. By and large, as far as our countrymen are concerned, I have seen it during war. They are excellent and they give full support to the. In
Yes.
Kargil war, we had boys from all over India, and I saw
Indeed.
the kind of support that we got from every state, every citizen. But these things that are happening today, as I said, that today there is so much of awareness amongst our
Yes.
soldiers that they do get affected. And that is what I would like all the netas, whichever party that they belong to, and the good citizens, they must not create these kind of situations which can affect the morale of our jawans.
General Malik, those are very, very valuable words, and I really am grateful that it comes from someone like you. You are a wartime general, someone with very, very strong views about such things, and I know you don't like talking about politics, but that's specifically the reason why I invited you, because I knew you would have something very valuable to share tonight. And so I thank you once again for this brief conversation, which I hope will be viewed by millions, because it is so meaningful to netas, to the forge, and to our citizenry who must hear these words and understand where we stand today. Thank you, General, for being with me.
Thank you, Shiv. Thank you.
And remember that the politics over language will continue. Our soldiers, our sailors, our air warriors will continue to defend the country. But what you've just heard from a former chief of the army staff, one who led the army in one of its big victories in the Kargil war in 1999, has just said that soldiers, sailors and air warriors, many of them very, very young, have mobile phones, they've got TVs, they've got laptops, they watch the news, they keep in touch, they are in tune with what's happening in the politics of this country. So imagine what they feel and be a citizen worth dying for.